Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, and another coin update here on this Sunday before the futures market opens. And we're going to start and look at Bitcoin right now. You can see Bitcoin has been in a consolidation to the upside for quite some time, right? I'm just going to hide this. So it looks like these are just a floating ball up here. See that? It's much better. Since we were in this is when Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing first started getting taken off, right? When you guys, some of you, my longtime OGs, back here, when we were describing how this was a rising wedge on a topping reversal pattern, as if you look back in the chart on this pump, what was going on with the pumping price, pumping volume, what this initial pump up to here was bullish, and then everything from this point on was bearish. And we were going in, I started making videos in March, the end of March and into April, right into here, and I was showing you how you had a high, a lower, you had the big pump, and then the crashing volume, and then an up and sideways consolidation. And as we were up right into here, I was telling you this was topping out. You're hitting a high, a higher high, and then another higher high. But look at the high you were at on this high, 58,220. Then on this high, you only got up to, even on the wick, 61,300 and change. And then on this one, on the wick, on the final top, very quickly before it rolled over 64. So you can see each time it made a new high, the highs were getting less impressive. And then you had lower lows. Your first low was at 41,900. Your second low was at 47, and then your third low was at 56. See, they're getting closer and closer to the price was constricting in an up and sideways fashion. The higher highs were getting closer and closer. The lower lows were getting closer and closer. That's a classic topping reversal pattern in this rising wedge. And we know it's a rising wedge because it starts off very wide and it's very small. And then you can see you had your final hit on the top, a little fake out, and then a flush, right? And then you came back up. See how you came to the moving average in this case in the daily time frame. You came down to the 50-day or the 100-day moving average in blue and bounced, and then came almost all the way back up to a classic back testing this, and then getting rejected and then flushing, right? So now that moves us over to here, and you can see we're in a rising channel this time, but you got decreasing volume the whole time. This is, to me, just one big continuation pattern after this flush. Usually it would have stopped here, but you ended up getting topped out, and the market ran a little bit longer than we would have been anticipated. And this was the ring here, this orange ring that we were anticipating here to get topped out, because if we went way back in the chart, way back a few years ago, this ring acted as major resistance back in 2017 on that big pump to 20,000. This was the ring that rejected it at 20,000. So I was anticipating it to reject it here again, came up a little bit higher, and then we formed this classic topping pattern, right? And now you see, here's why I have this though right here, because as you came up, you had your first upper resistance, right? Lower support, then a whole conglomerate of upper resistance, lower support 2, upper resistance 3, and then a double top 4, and then lower support 3, 1, 2, 3. Now this is forming that little down and sideways falling wedge. These like to break out, and your technical target would be where this wedge started, and that would bring you back here beautifully. So sometimes these like to, after they flush out of the pattern, they like to back test up here, right? So just remember that. So what I mean by that is sometimes they like to do this. They come down here, and then they get bought all the way back up on a hype train, and then they flush, right? So always watch out for something like that, because they often, when they flush out of a zone, which is this big overall pattern here, they like to for whatever reason, I just noticed that they do it a lot. They like to come up and back test real quick. Now if it does it sooner, say it did it on the 20th, it would only come up to about 60,000, and then it would flush. So just remember, if that happens, don't get suckered in and hyped in, because it'll quickly reverse, because your underneath target is all the way down here, right? As a deep low target, and then you have your initial target of 41,896, which is the flash low, which I think you're coming to right now. I think you're coming right down here, just taking a little bit of time. And then your technical target out of this rising wedge that we were in is the bottom of the wedge, which coincides with this white support box, which is the volume indicator on this whole move major traded range, to where if you break that, if you break below this major volume traded area, and the bottom of that is at $32,580 and change, you would be very, very bearish, right? That would be very bearish, and you would, what the hell, you would not want to be there. Line color, that's what I want. Get that out of there. If you break below this volume traded area at 32,589 in this white support box, that's the bottom of it, and you flush that, you don't have any more support until you come way down there, right? You'd be talking about a massive flush all the way down here to our orange support box at the top of the last line of defense, aka get my shit together to the shit house, right? This is your last area. It's about a $6,000 trading range from top to bottom, and if you don't hold that, you have major problems, right? So that's what we're going to be watching out for here. You can see that right here. That is your top of the shit house. If you can't hold the 32,000, this would be your next major support level. So Bitcoin's getting awfully interesting as the stock market starts to teeter, as the Fed's going to start to accelerate tapering, which means the easy cheap money is going to be gone. As into the future, in about 6 months, early summer, they're talking about raising interest rates, even though it's only a quarter basis point at a time. But they're saying 3 times next year. Yes, I know that's only 3/4 of a point. The market can't handle that, and that would already put extra added sell pressure on risk assets, right? It's going to hurt margins in companies, and that's why you're seeing a sell-off like this. And you show me the news, I show you the chart. You show me the chart, I show you the news, right? And all these bad news is coming out on certain coins and crypto around the world, government regulations and regulatory nonsense that you're going to have to do with taxes in the US and around the world, putting heavy bearish pressure on it. And it just so happens to coincide with the topping out in the crypto sphere. But it's all planned and manipulated, and that's why we're here to help you overt and subvert that. XRP, we were all ahead of the competition on calling this all the way down to that 72-cent flush, and then it even overshot it on the play that we were making. Then you had a nice buyback up, and now you can see we came up to, did we hit this yet? We're gonna have to zoom in on this, but we're gonna get rid of this. And then we're going to get rid of this. Let's see if it came all the way up to that 80. I don't think it got there quite. Let's get rid of that. See if it came all the way up. Almost to there where we were forecasting it and we said to watch out for, right? Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Make these look all beautiful and uniform. But we have that. This is our falling channel that we're in, right? And this is what we've been watching, playing support and resistance zones. And when it hit down here last time at this, well, that's our next bounce, but when it hit over here, we were saying if you want to play it, you can play it up to its next upper resistance, which would be around the 84 cents. And then as we went into the future here, as we continue to, I'm cleaning up the chart every time I get into them. I just seen how beautiful this looks when you do it this way, right? So as we go into them, you're just gonna have to bear with me. That way it takes some of the clutter out. You can see it was a nice play down here when you got supported off your lower support. It actually has pumped from the top of the wick, 8% to the top. Now if we zoom on in a little bit closer here, that's why we always start from a far out time frame and work our way in to make a super simple, easy way to trade this manipulated market and stay out ahead of the competition and the YouTube hustlers and charlatans and heisters, right, that are out there to fleece, heist, and shiest the retail trader and knock you down, right? We're here to help you avert and subvert and overt the criminal gangsters and walk away with all the fucking money, right? So you can see where it did, actually we're coming right up to there, to the top of this, but look at that, there ain't no volume down there. You can see this volume way down there. You almost can't even see it as you've traded up off of support to resistance. I would anticipate this to roll over and think you're gonna come all the way down here, right? That's what I think is gonna happen. We need to make that. Okay. Oh, we can clone this. I forgot we got our cloning tool. Go here. Nope, that's not how you clone. There. I forgot how to clone. Whatever. There it is. Clone. Bam. I think you're going to be trading down to here, right? You're going to be trading down here to lower support soon. Look at that. You're going to be coming down here. You need to get this little floating guy down there. I think you're going to be trading down to 72 cents again, right? And that coincides with all this trading after you flushed. Because I don't see the kind of support that I think you need to break this to try to come up to 92 cents. I don't see it. To me, it looks like with the no volume down here, right? You see that? You got no volume down there. I think you're going to top out here in XRP and start to trade back down to the 72 cents. The 200-day moving average is going to start trending down like that, and then the price is going to get rejected every time it tries to bounce back up into it, and it's going to force it down to 72 cents. That's just the overall sentiment in the market. That's what I think is going on here in the XRP. I think you're going to start to trade down in the next days to weeks leading up to Christmas. But if you do, on the off chance break up, your upper resistance is going to be up here at this 92 cents horizontal from left to right. If you're looking at the screen, overhead resistance, there's been major sell pressure up there, right? But I think you're going to get rejected here at the 84 cent level. See that 84 cents? It's about right where you're at now. You've traded down off the 77 cent level all the way up to the 84 cent, but I think you're going to get topped out, and as soon as you breach this 200 day, see how close all the moving averages are. Whenever they're very close, all like that, you got the 200, the 50, and then the 100 in green, red, and blue respectively, all coiled up. That means the price is about to have a big move, but in this case I think you're going to get rejected up here, even if you bounce off and come up to 84 and a half, almost 85 right here, and then get rejected. You're going to fall below these, and as soon as you do that, I think the volume's going to pick up, and it's going to be to the downside. And every time you have a relief rally, like if you flush from here, there'll probably be buyers at the 77 cent level, because you have buyers here at 78, so somewhere between 77 and a half and 78, you would think there would be a bounce from, if you flush here, you come down here like this with our drawing tool, right? You come right down to here, there'll probably be buyers because there were buyers right in this zone, right? So then you trade back up like this, but the moving average is going to be right there, the 200 day, and then you're going to get rejected by it, and then that helps you catapult you down. See how that works? There's probably going to be buyers here, so we'll mark that for you just so you see how this happens into the future. We'll put a white support box right here, or no, that's our volume indicator box. We can't use white. We'll put a support box right here though, because I think there will be a little bit of buyers here as you trade through here on your way to the downside, and we'll see how that works, right? Right in this critical, it's a little bit higher. Oh shit, I knew that was coming. We need to plug this in. You guys aren't gonna be able to see what we're looking at. Get on there. Oh, what's going on? Good. There we go. All right, got the battery charger on there now. Doesn't do that. All right, so what was I saying? Oh, we need to move this. So now you can see the screen. Right here is going to be where there's could be some buyers, right? And that's where you could bounce up, and then if you break that, you come all the way down. So we're going to keep this up here. Just move it out a little bit more. right here. Here's where some buyers could be, so we're going to want to pay attention to this little dark blue area, right? That's where buyers could be on the way down. So when you trade down off of here in XRP, say you did this and bounced up, you come down, you trade into this range, and then buyers may be there because of this prior trading right there, and then you trade up like this, right? And then you start to trade back down, hit it again, hit it, and then you have a bigger flush down, right? And you say, well, why would it start to trade down there? Because the moving average at 200-day would start to trend down like that, and then the price would run into it. See how that works? See how the moving average has been trending down like that? That's how that would work right here. So this is kind of what I think may go on right there, where you come into here, you get bought back up, but then you get rejected. So we're going to see how this plays out in XRP, but I do think you're coming down to the 72-cent lower support down here. This is where I do think you're going. We'll put a little circle down here. I think you're coming down there in the price. I think that is where you're going. So we'll keep an eye on that in XRP. We're going to go ahead and put this one out here for y'all. We'll have some more updates to come here in a little while. Like, subscribe, and share to Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing. Peace and love to my beautiful, glowing, gorgeous, glowing, stunning audience.